President Harris in line to take the Democratic nomination after President Biden threw his support behind her. I anticipate he'll talk a little bit about that, but he'll also touch on the transition of power. That is something that Vice President Kamala Harris talked about in her concession speech yesterday, that peaceful transition of power. That's almost something that certainly didn't happen last time around when President Trump lost the 2020 election. But still, nonetheless, the President Biden and Vice President Harris say.
Why do they keep saying that a peace transfer of power didn't happen in 2020? Ladies and gentlemen, Trump left the White House. Trump literally left. Did he not leave the White House? Am I missing something here? You guys, am I missing something? Am I missing something here? I really want to know. Did Trump not concede? Did he not like just say, okay, got it, January come, gotta leave the White House? He left the White House. I don't know what these people are talking about. I really don't.
Great, how are you? Thanks, Suzanne. Thank you.
Okay, we now have some breaking news, and this is very significant. For those looking at what's the next huge step, you're wondering about Jack Smith. Well, Jack Smith with a big development. The special counsel is in active talks with the Justice Department about how to end his federal prosecutions of President Trump. Now, this is according to a justice official familiar with the discussions. Discussions expected to last several days. But the person breaking this news, of course, is our excellent chief legal affairs correspondent, Paula Reed. Also with me, our senior legal analyst, Ellie Honig. But Paula, look, this has been the huge question hanging all of this over the whole election and now in the aftermath. What are you learning?
So we knew there were a few options. If former president, who now is, of course, the president-elect, returned to the White House, there were a few ways that his federal cases could be resolved. One is he said that he would try to fire Jack Smith. Unclear if he could do that because Smith is not a presidential appointee, but it was expected that his Justice Department would drop these cases. It was clear once he was reelected, he was never going to face trial. But we knew there was another option, and that is that potentially the Biden Justice Department could try to resolve or wind down these cases before Trump takes office. And a lot of this stems from an Office of Legal Counsel, that is a department within the Justice Department that gives advice to lawyers who work there. This memo that talks about prosecutions of a sitting president, and they are looking very closely at that memo to try to determine how does that apply in this case, where you have two pending cases against a president-elect. Can they continue to move forward? Can they take additional steps? Right now, I'm told they are in discussions. Jack Smith talking with top leaders at the Justice Department about exactly what this looks like. I'm told that Jack Smith is someone who understands that he has to follow whatever the rules and regulations of the Justice Department are. So at this point, they are looking for ways to wind this down. I'm told it's unclear when this will happen and what it'll look like.
I mean, Paula, can I just ask you in terms of your reporting, given how the polls showed this would go, given that the Trump campaign didn't think this would go this way, given that the Harris campaign didn't think this would go this way, I mean, did Jack Smith have this all sort of as a possibility really prepared? Or is he also just as human being?
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. Please. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. Please. Thank you. Good to see this cabinet and the staff together here. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's good to see you all. Particularly good to see my granddaughter sitting in the front row here. Hi, Finn. How are you, honey? For over 200 years, America has carried on the greatest experiment in self-government in the history of the world. And that's not hyperbole, that's a fact. We're the people. The people vote and choose their own leaders, and they do it peacefully. And we're in a democracy. The will of the people always prevails. Yesterday, I spoke with President-elect Trump to congratulate him on his victory. And I assured him that I'd direct my entire administration to work with his team to ensure a peaceful and orderly transition. That's what the American people deserve. Yesterday, I also spoke with Vice President Harris. She's been a partner and a public servant. She ran an inspiring campaign, and everyone got to see something that I learned early on to respect so much, her character. She has a backbone like a ramrod. She has great character, true character. She gave her whole heart and effort, and she and her entire team should be proud of the campaign they ran. You know, the struggle for the soul of America, since our very founding, has always been an ongoing debate and still vital today. I know for some people, it's a time for victory, to state the obvious. For others, it's a time of loss. Campaigns are contests of competing visions. The country chooses one or the other. We accept the choice the country made. I've said many times, you can't love your country only when you win. You can't love your neighbor only when you agree. Something I hope we can do, no matter who you voted for, is see each other not as adversaries, but as fellow Americans. Bring down the temperature. I also hope we can lay to rest the question about the integrity of the American electoral system. It is honest, it is fair, and it is transparent. And it can be trusted, win or lose. I also hope we can restore the respect for all our election workers who busted their necks and took risks at the outset. We should thank them. Thank them for staffing voting sites, counting the votes, protecting the very integrity of the election. Many of them are volunteers who do it simply out of love for their country. And as they did their duty as citizens, I will do my duty as president. I'll fulfill my oath, and I will honor the Constitution. On January 20th, we'll have a peaceful transfer of power here in America. To all our incredible staff, supporters, cabinet members, all the people who've been hanging out with me for the last 4 years, God love you, as my mother would say. Thank you so much. You put so much into the past 4 years. I know it's a difficult time. You're hurting. I hear you and I see you. But don't forget Don't forget all that we accomplished. It's been a historic presidency. Not because I'm president, because what we've done, what you've done. A presidency for all Americans. Much of the work we've done is already being felt by the American people, but the vast majority of it will not be felt over the next 10 years. We have legislation we passed that's just only now just really kicking in. We're going to see over $1 trillion worth of infrastructure work done, changing people's lives in rural communities and communities that are in real difficulty because it takes time to get it done. And so much more. It's going to take time, but it's there. The road ahead is clear, assuming we sustain it. There's so much we can get done and will get done based on the way the legislation was passed. And it's truly historic. You know, we're leaving behind the strongest economy in the world. I know people are still hurting, but things are changing rapidly. Together, we've changed America for the better. Now we have 74 days to finish the term, our term. Let's make every day count. That's the responsibility we have to the American people. Look, folks, you all know it in your lives. Setbacks are unavoidable, but giving up is unforgivable. Setbacks are unavoidable, but giving up is unforgivable. We all get knocked down. But the measure of our character, as my dad would say, is how quickly we get back up. Remember, a defeat does not mean we are defeated. We lost this battle. The America of your dreams is calling for you to get back up. That's the story of America for over 240 years and counting. It's a story for all of us, not just some of us. The American experiment endures. We're going to be okay, but we need to stay engaged. We need to keep going. And above all, we need to keep the faith. I'm so proud to have worked with all of you. I really mean it. I sincerely mean it. God bless you all. God bless America. And may God protect our troops. Thank you, thank you, thank you.